Greetings. Welcome to EDTV News Channel, the People's Channel. In this report, we have some interesting stories for talk about. Stay tuned for the full reports. Blessings to all subscribers and viewers. If you're here for the first time, you can support the channel by like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. So we'll start off in the parish of St. Catherine with a very sad story, where veteran journalist Barbara Gill was found dropped out at her Caymanas Country Club estate in St. Catherine on Tuesday morning. So we'll get into the report. The Caymanas Country Club estate community is mourning the loss of journalist Barbara Gill, a beloved resident of the townhouse complex in St. Catherine for over 10 years. Gill, who was a veteran court reporter at the Jamaica Gleaner, dropped out in tragic circumstances. Her body was discovered at her home on Tuesday morning. Preliminary reports suggest that foul play may be involved. Details surrounding the incident are still being ascertained. However, it is understood that Gill's motor car and phone are reportedly missing. A forensic investigator at the crime of the scene could not confirm the manner in which Gill was taken out, but said a more fulsome report will be released to the public in due time. Residents described Gill as the nicest, sweetest neighbor one could ever hope to have. If Barbara has 3 mangoes and she see 3 people standing up and talking, she will give everybody one. If she get a jackfruit or a melon, she has to come and give you a piece of it. You couldn't find a nicer, sweeter human being, one resident said. Another resident said Gill often offered words of encouragement to other neighbors and was a very active participant in the community's WhatsApp group. Barbara sends everybody in the group a scripture every day, and this morning was the first she missed a day. This is so tragic. She was such a ball of energy, always running jokes, always pleasant. She was such a warm person. Some Sundays I would pick her up and go to church with her. Boy, Jamaica, Jamaica. This is not the kind of news I was expecting, the resident said. Residents said an unknown man attempted to break into a house in the community a few days ago. Gill was last seen talking to a male individual at 3 p.m. on Monday when a neighbor went over her house to give her some ground provisions. Neighbors said Gill's motor vehicle was not in her usual parking spot hours later. The police are reportedly following a number of leads. Gill's career spanned over 4 decades, and she was recently one of 5 veteran journalists honored by the Press Association of Jamaica for her tireless work, chronicling cases across parish courts, circuit courts, the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeal, and even the Privy Council in the United Kingdom. In the meantime, there have been an outpouring of tributes to Gill from her former colleagues. Very, very sad story, people. Condolences goes out to Gill's family. Now, people, listen to Superintendent Christopher Phillips.
Christopher Phillips, Senior Superintendent of Police with responsibility for Area 5, and I'm here with the management team from St. Catherine South, as also our area crime officer. I'm at Caymanas Estate Country Club Phase 1, where we have a case of murder treating it. I can confirm that retired journalist Barbara Gill was today found dead in her house. What we're getting so far, she was last seen sometime after 3 yesterday, having a conversation with an unknown gentleman. Sometimes this morning, sometime after 10, residents who are used to a routine coming out in the mornings to check on them and to call to them. They never saw that usual activity, and so, you know, some residents went to check on her where the lifeless body was discovered. We are following strong leads at this time. We have the full support of all the investigative arm of the force giving full support right now. We are deeply saddened by this. It's really a very horrible scene, and you know, we really extend condolences to the media family at this time, because I know that she's well known in that circle, you know. So we promise, we commit to giving our best effort to solving this case. In the same time, I'd want to use the opportunity to appeal to residents once more to be extremely vigilant during this festive season, and because based on what we're seeing so far, you know, could be anybody else from this community, and so we just want to appeal to residents to be extremely vigilant. Well, I wouldn't want to get into critiquing whether or not any protocol was breached. On the surface of it, it's very worrying how things unfolded as to how that person got in. We are going to allow the investigative process to unearth all of that, and perhaps at another time we could give another full update on what we have discovered.
Could you say if she was shot, stabbed,
initial assessment is suggesting that she was stabbed multiple times to the right side of her neck, and we suspect she was also hit in the forehead. Well, the vehicle is missing and her phone is also missing. But as I said, give us some more time. We want to dig deeper into this one, and we commit the full team focus on it to ensure that this one is solved.
So now you hear people, tell me in the comment section what you think. Now people, we'll move on with another interesting story. We could call it a breaking news. Matthew Hyde to spend 13 more years in jail for torturing ex-girlfriend. Matthew Hyde, the university student who pleaded guilty in torturing his ex-girlfriend, has been sentenced to 15 years, 7 months in prison. But Hyde, who has been in custody since February last year, will be released after another 13 years and 9 months based on time already served. The sentences was handed down Tuesday afternoon in the Home Circuit Court. Hyde pleaded guilty on September 26 to the offensive of assault occasioning grievous bodily harm, causing grievous bodily harm, use of malicious communication, and false imprisonment. During the sentencing hearing earlier this month, his attorney, Patrick Peterkin, had requested a 50% discount in sentencing for time spent in custody. Hyde has been in custody since February 2023, but his attorney request was rejected by the judge, who imposed a sentence of 15 years and 7 months for the most serious offense of causing grievous bodily harm with intent. The judge indicated that based on the 1 year and 10 months he has already spent in custody, Hyde will serve 13 years and 9 months behind bars. Prosecutors had reported that in February 2023, Hyde, a 21-year-old biochemistry student, held his ex-girlfriend captive for 3 days in his room at the George Allen Hall on the campus of the University of the West Indies, Mona, where he tortured her with a hot clothing iron and other implements. Now, people, this evil youth, him deserve every day in prison, and him should have get more. Now, people, we'll move on. Now, people, the Integrity Commission of Investigation bite former ex-JLP member of Parliament. So we'll get into the report. Former Jamaica Labour Party Member of Parliament, MP Leslie Campbell, has been found guilty of breaching the Integrity Commission Act in relation to charges that he failed to provide information about his income declaration. The verdict was handed down in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Tuesday morning. Campbell reportedly failed to provide the Integrity Commission IC with additional information requested in relation to statutory declaration he filed between 2016 and 2020. In a report tabled in Parliament last year, the IC said, following a probe, it was concluded that Campbell was legally obligated to file statutory declaration with the Commission during the period of 2016 and 2020 when he served as Member of Parliament for the St. Catherine North Eastern Division. The IC said, while Campbell did file his statutory declaration as required, he was requested on more than one occasion to file additional information, and while he indicated that he was aware of the request, he failed to do so. So people, he was beaten by the IC, the Integrity Commission. Now people, we'll move on, last but not least. And everybody in Jamaica would know who is Reid. And when we say Reid, people, we are talking about Ruel Reid. So we'll get into his report because he can't escape the court. You know what I'm saying? Reid, Pinnock, corruption matter set for plea and case management hearing in January. Now, people, this case is going on for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? And Ruel Reid dodged and he was the former education minister. Dodge and dodge and dodge. But, you know, them say you can't run, but you can't hide. So we'll get into his report. Former Education Minister Ruel Reid and former Caribbean Maritime University President Professor Fritz Pinnock and their three co-accused are to return to the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on January 30 for a plea and case management hearing. The date was scheduled on Friday when the accused appeared in court. Their bail was extended. Mr. Reid, his wife Sharon, their daughter Sharelle, Professor Pinnock, and the Jamaica Labour Party councillor for the Brownstown Division, Kim Brown Lawrence, have been charged with a range of offences, including breaches of the Corruption Prevention Act, conspiracy to defraud, misconduct in a public office at common law, and breaches of the Proceeds of Crime Act. The accused were charged by the Financial Investigation Division following a probe into nearly 50 million, which was allegedly diverted from the CMU. In the meantime, Mr. Reid and Professor Pinnock's appeal of the full court ruling is set for hearing next February. The men lost their battle to quash the Chief Parish Court, Judge Chester Crooks, ruling that they have a case to answer in the multi-million-dollar fraud matter. The men had sought a judicial review of Justice Crooks' February 2021 decision, claiming that the judge should not have ruled in the matter as he had admitted to a potential conflict of interest. The judge's ruling was in response to a preliminary objection raised by the accused. They argued that the charges against them should be nullified as the Financial Investigation Division, which leveled the charges, had no legal authority to arrest or charge them. But Mr. Reid and Professor Pinnock took issue with the decision after Justice Crooks declared that he was recusing himself from the trial because of a perceived conflict of interest and sought a judicial review. It was later revealed that the conflict was in relation to the judge's attendance at Monroe College while Mr. Reid was head boy. But Justice Crescentia Brown Beckford, in handing down the ruling in July, said the non-disclosure of the nature of the judge's knowledge of Mr. Reid was of no consequence. She also found that claimants had not satisfied the court on a balance of probabilities that the judge was biased. So there you have it, people. Finally, Ruel Reid and his co-accused will face the court, and we will see what is going to happen if they will be going to prison. So there you have it, people. Please leave your comments in the comment section and tell me what you think. One aim, one God, one destiny. Walk good, talk good, live good. Blessings.